cannot stay in environments where people don't know the true value of you. If you stay in environments where people don't recognize the value of you, you will shrink your gift to the size of what they can stand. And that's what causes anxiety and depression and stress, because you have had to shrink into a form where people can tolerate you. I refuse to be small because you think small. I'm not shrinking my vision because you can't catch up. You either better roll with me or you gonna get rolled over.
Good morning, happy Tuesday to you everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the Boomer World. Today I'm going to talk about this little clip that I saw on Instagram yesterday. It spoke volumes for me. It's everything that I've ever wanted to say. It's everything that describes all the things that are happening right now in most people's lives. There are times when you just put yourself in a situation where you are so much better than the people that are around you, especially in a job situation. You just never know. When you go to an interview, you think that it's an interview about you, but no. In reality, you are also interviewing your prospective employer. You have to ask questions. You have to know what the dynamic is inside that office, inside that job, what is the culture in so many words. But you have to phrase your questions in a way where they give you the answers and you get tidbits of information that you can later on process and figure out if this is really the job for you. Because most of the time we go in an interview and we're just like so gung-ho, like we want this job. Most of the time they ask you questions and you never really get to, at the end of the interview, they usually say, do you have any questions? And that kind of catches you off guard where you don't really have anything prepared. So for me, when you go into an interview, you should be ready to ask questions that would really fit, not just them trying to fit you into the job, but also you trying to fit into their job. When I got this job that I have right now, I was just there thinking about, okay, I'll just make some money, a little bit of money, no big deal. Meet and greet people, talk to people on the phone. I can do that. That's easy. And I've been in an environment where it's high stress, high volume work, and you really need to dot your I's and cross your T's, because if there's one mistake that you do, you're in trouble. So you have to make sure. So you have to double check and double check. But then I found myself in an environment where things are not right. An office manager is supposed to be not just to manage the office technically, but also to make sure that you're the gel that brings people together so that you can have a cohesive team that will be able to work together like as a team and help each other successfully for the office. In the beginning, that's what it looked like. It's great. That's great. Even at first, I was very impressed. I'm like, I've never worked for a place where people are just jumping up and helping each other out. But then I started noticing things about the place, and 2020 vision, I should have thought of this. I should have asked my questions at the interview. When I was interviewed, they told me that the schedule is flexible. To me, flexible means you can choose your hours. I did not know that they were going to give me the yuckiest schedule on earth, from 9 to 6:30 at night. That's long hours. That's 9.5 hours of just answering phones and meeting people. Most of the time, it's very slow. You have to ask those questions that you feel that would make you successful in the job, such as who held the position and why did they quit? You want to ask, what do you mean by flexible? Do you mean flexible this way, this way, this way, or this way, this way, this way? Also, when you read the description of the job, you have to, it's sort of kind of vague sometimes, because in this job you're paid a 5% different, like me, a 5% differential for doing something over and above what you're there to do. So there's a fine line. There's a fine line to a generality in that description. So you have to make sure that you're also progressing in the job, so that you have to ask the questions that would make them also impressed with you if you want to move up to the job, especially when you're young. That's the kind of thing that would make you resent it if you're in a job that you're not happy with. That's why you have to ask the question. And do not be afraid, because if you are sitting in that interview chair, you know that there's going to be other people that are going to put you in that interview chair. Do not get so desperate that you're just going to take a job just to take a job, because then you'll find yourself not being happy with it, and you'll find yourself trying to look for other jobs. And it doesn't look good if you're just at the job for a few months for the next job. So take your time, interview as many places as you can. Whatever your situation is, you have to match the skills that you have so that you can stay in that job and thrive in that job, and make sure that, one of the questions that you can ask is, how do I progress in this job? It could be a restaurant, it could be a store, it could be anything, I mean, I've heard stories where somebody started as a janitor, never mind janitor, a custodian, used to be janitor, they used to call it janitors, or in the mailroom, and then they moved up because there's room for promotion, there's room for moving to a higher spot. If you take your job seriously and make the most out of it, and then show that you can think outside the box and that you can move outside the box in order for people to really mentally taking notes about who you are. You have to really prove yourself. In a place where there's too much drama, the people around you that are creating this drama and who are not really serious about making the place a conducive place for people to just look forward to coming to work, then that's where everything falls apart. And when things fall apart, you're just focused on the drama. You're just focused on, how do I go through this day without getting somebody gaslighting me, without somebody trying to put me down and look down on me. That's the kind of thing that you don't want at your job, and which is why this clip that I just showed you in the beginning of this video, that don't put yourself in their box, because this is where anxiety and depression and stress happens, is because you're trying to make a living, you're trying to do a job that you really are not valued, you really don't deserve the treatment that you're getting. So make sure that when you're in a job, that people value your contribution to this place. And when that happens, it's amazing how you're going to be so much happier when people value you and they say, I appreciate you. There are people at my job where tell me every day that they appreciate my help, but it's not the right people that would be able to give me the promotion or the raise that I'm looking for. It's not going to be like that. It's merit based. Like, what are you doing educationally to progress, and I'm not about that I'm not here. I'm really not here for that, and I really don't care. I really don't care. I've done who I am today. I love who I am today, and I'm not going to trade it for anything in the world, because this is who I am. I love who I am. I only impress one person, and that person is God. If God, I know, is happy with me, with how I am, then I'm happy. It makes me happy, and that's all that I care about. But for you guys, whoever you are, listening to this video, if you are in a job where you're really not happy, don't sell yourself short, because you are the most precious person of yourself. You are the only one who's going to take yourself seriously and hold yourself valuable. But do not quit the job until you have another job. And nobody who cares about you will ever stop you from doing that, from getting another job when you are at a job where you're not happy. So make sure that you have another job first. It doesn't take that long. Be patient. You're gonna find it. You gotta pray about it and say, I need another job. And you're gonna find another job. Jobs are everywhere. You can make money with anything. I mean, look at all the kids these days. They're influencers. They're making bucks, you know. So there's money to be made out there. Do not feel afraid. Do not let anyone in your job bully you into thinking that you're not enough, because you are. You're more than enough. So that's my spiel for today. In the meantime, I have to go to work. With that, I bid you goodbye. God bless you, and come back to the boomers, okay? We have good advice. Love you. Bye.